If you had a tsunami of warm, qualified, ready to purchase customers coming to your store today, would you be ready for it? Would you be ready to turn those clicks into customers? Or would they bounce off you like bullets off Superman? Right? Because if you can't turn browsers into buyers, it doesn't matter whether it's Black Friday, whether it's Cyber Monday, or whether it's just a random Wednesday. Luckily, today I'm going to be breaking down 5 of your Shopify stores to reveal sales killing mistakes, profit boosting opportunities, and some other hacks to help you guys take maximum advantage of this holiday season. More money is going to be spent in the next 2 months than 50% of the year combined in retail. That's how important it is to nail the holiday season. And I want to make sure that you're not sitting on the sidelines this time around. So we're going to dive in. And I guarantee if you watch this video from start to finish, no matter what you sell, you're going to have some incredibly powerful takeaways that you can turn around and apply to your store today. Sound good? Make sure you go ahead and like this stream. It definitely helps more people see it, helps us reach more folks, and helps more of you scale your stores up. So make sure you like or heart the stream, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching the replay itself. All right. Now, before we dive in, for those of you who are a little bit new here, I'm Mike Ao. I created the Traffic and Conversions group. I've got the AO eCom YouTube channel, and I help Shopify sellers like you scale your brands from startup to 10K, 20K, $100,000 months, right? And boom, boom. Not only do I help sellers like you guys, but I live this life, right? I live this life. I was able to help our own air freshener brand grow from gas station commodity to doing over, God, man, between our Shopify sales and then our Amazon sales, we're at easily over $500,000 in sales this year alone, right? But not just me, right? I have some other students like, Sabrina with Armored Soul, who's in this group, watches the channel, right? She's been able to scale her store, doing over $82,000 in sales this year. That's an increase of nearly 400% from last year. Or my other student, Rhonda, who's at over $368,000 this year in sales, over 172% increase year over year. Or one of my students, Jeremy, with a brand new store, just launched in March, already over $500,000 in sales this year. And we have not even hit Black Friday, Cyber Monday with any of these brands. Right? So I'm not showing you this to, brag. I'm showing you this so you understand that I live this life every day, right? I help sellers like you every single day. And the stuff that I'm going to be talking to you about today is not just, random things that I read on a blog or saw on YouTube. These are the exact same principles and strategies that we use every single day to help scale our own brands and help our students scale their brands as well. Powerful stuff. So if you're ready for me to go ahead and dive in and start tearing down your stores, again, make sure you go ahead and like the stream, all right? And drop a fire emoji in the chat because it's about to go down, baby. Our first brand that we're going to be looking at is a brand called Your Spirit Vibes. Boom, boom. Let's see what we can resize this here. Cool. All right. So we're going to be looking at a couple things today. I'm going to be doing the 5-second test. I'm going to be talking about the user experience, which can impact your conversion rate, impact your SEO, impact your social media reach, impact your ad costs. We're going to be talking about offers or potential offers that you could be using for the holidays, messaging, imagery, and go over some different average order value boosting and even some potential advertising strategies that you could use, right? So super powerful stuff we're going to be talking about. First off, right, we're 5-second test, right? Whenever you arrive, anybody arrives on your store for the first time, you have 5 seconds, right? The average of 5 seconds to convince them to stay or leave. And in those 5 seconds, you need to answer, what do you sell? Am I in the right place? And what should I do next? If you do not address those three questions within the first 5 seconds, it's a high chance they're going to bounce, and it's going to be a lost opportunity for you. So first off, do I like the offer that we have running here? Absolutely, right? We are at least capturing leads, which is incredibly important, right? Incredibly important. But you might want to think about having a sexier offer, right? 10% off is a very easy to ignore, very easy to look past offer. And that is the last thing that you want to happen when you are trying to get someone's contact information. This is the most important thing, especially when it comes to the holidays, right? People are not shopping with you during the holidays because you are running ads and reaching all these new people and they're ready to buy. The people that shop the most with you during the holidays are already in your atmosphere, already following you, already on your lists, right? And they are already paying attention to you. So now we're going and we're activating them. So getting as many people onto your list for follow-up will literally make or break your entire holiday season. So that's why it's so important to be capturing leads from any eyeballs you send to your store. And the sexier your offers are, the more leads you will get. Does that make sense, you guys? Right? If it's easy to say no to it, they'll scroll on past free shipping, 10% off, updates, no thank you. All right? Make sexy offers. So that being said, 5-second test. Can I tell what you sell? Shop home, shop all, women, men, contact. Can't really tell what you sell from our navigation. Okay, am I in the right place? Maybe if I saw one of these images before I landed here, I might see one of these images that I clicked and I landed, but they're not really connecting the dots on am I in the right place? What should I expect when I arrive here? What should I do next? Live in the vibe, shop now. That's cute, but that doesn't tell me anything. So right now, 5-second test, we're failing the 5-second test, and that is costing you a ton of eyeballs. Like this first impression, you never get another chance to make a first impression, whether it's coming from an ad, whether it's coming from a social media post. Right, 5 seconds is incredibly important to the overall success of your brand and of your store. You need to nail it. So, what should we be doing up here? First off, what do you sell? I need you to go ahead and break that down for me in the navigation. Let me know what you sell up here. All right, I see apparel, I guess. Right, so we have yoga t-shirts, hoodies. Is that the same thing we sell over here? Okay, listen, put that in your navigation. I sell yoga apparel, hoodies, t-shirts. So that way, if I'm interested in any of these things, bang, I can click. Bang, I can click. Bang, I can click. I can get to shopping faster, right? You need to get people shopping faster. See, here's the thing. When you're looking at your overall store performance, right, your conversion rate, out of every 100 people that visit your store, how many of them do what you want them to do? So you should always be trying to maximize the amount of people moving from one step to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. Now, you can see it in your Shopify analytics right now. So everyone watching, whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. When you go to your Shopify analytics page, you scroll down, what is your current store conversion rate, right? What is your conversion rate for your online store right now, right? If you're less than 2%, you're bleeding out the side of your neck. You know, we're at only 3.5 right now, but we've also sent a ton of new eyeballs and traffic this year from different sources. If you're looking at less than 2% and you have, traffic from social media, you're not really doing a lot of eyeballs and traffic from other places, that's not a good thing. So as you'll see, the first thing that they want you to do is get someone to add to cart, check out, complete purchase. You need to get people to these steps as quickly as possible. That's why it's important to have a clean navigation. That's why it's important to drive action right away and get people going. 80% of people are not going to scroll down. So you need to capture them. You need to hit them with everything that you have, whether it's homepage or product page. You need to hit people with it before they scroll down. Burn that into your memory, you guys, right? You have to nail what we call above the fold, right? So definitely some clarity on our navigation. As far as this banner goes, I like the imagery and message positioning, but these images are a little bit blurry, right? They could definitely be higher quality. And the messaging, while cute, doesn't clarify exactly what is being sold in this store. And I see shop now, but I don't really know what I'm shopping. So how could we clarify this? Easy. Tell me what you sell, who you sell it for, and then tell me what collection you're showcasing here, or have me shop your best sellers. So that way I can see, I have clarity, and I know if I click the button, I know what's going to happen. All right. That's going to help you improve your user experience because it's going to get people moving around, navigating, and using your store. Google, social media, all these networks want people to be able to get around your store easily. Imagery wise, right? Not bad imagery. We're using some of the stock imagery that from our suppliers. Looks like we're doing some print on demand here, most likely. So lifestyle imagery is fine. Right? You can do quite a bit with that. Let's take a look at one of our product pages. Now, one thing I noticed that jumps out to me right away is the lack of social proof on here. All right, lack of social proof. So a couple big killers. One, lack of social proof can cripple you during the holidays because people are picky and choosy. And if they're on your store and they don't see any reviews at all, what is the chances that they're going to choose your store versus a competitor? So it's incredibly important that we get some social proof in our reviews on our store as quickly as possible before Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So if you're looking at your store right now and you're saying, I don't even have that many customers. How can I get reviews right away that aren't fake? I have a strategy for you. Type reviews in the chat for me. Right? Type reviews in the chat, and I'll send you over my review strategy. Perfect for beginners, and it's a way to build up social proof right away. So type reviews in the chat, and we'll get that your way. But definitely need to bolt on some social proof on here. The other thing is your text color, right? That seems like a small thing, right? Goes into your user experience, right? Think about every book that you've ever read, probably 80, 90% of them. White background, black text, because it's easy to read, maximum legibility. When you have colored text like this, it can handicap your user experience because it's harder for people to read. And if it's harder for people to read, they're less likely to engage, less likely to have a good experience, and that can hurt you on your page and your performance. Now, store-wise, we do have some solid messaging, but right now, as I scroll down, I'm in what we call no man's land. So I don't have a call to action button. So I can tell right away that our store is definitely struggling to convert clicks into customers. We probably have some decent designs here, but if we're not doing a good job of getting people across the finish line, it doesn't matter how many eyeballs you send your way, right? So we definitely have some breakdowns on our product page that are costing us some money. Definitely need to be cleaned up. And again, the issues that we talked about with our overall structure, with our copy and our messaging color, there's definitely some things that are working against us. Luckily, not too difficult to fix and turn around, right? Definitely some elements that we want to improve on our product page. So another resource that I have for you, everyone watching, is our Irresistible Product Pages cheat sheet, right? If you haven't gotten access to that yet, type Irresistible in the chat. We'll reach out to you to get you that cheat sheet for free. So type Irresistible in the chat for our Irresistible Product Pages cheat sheet. And that's going to go over some of the main elements you want to have in your product pages to sell the dream and overcome objections and make sure that we can squeeze the max, right? This is important because, ladies and gentlemen, these two numbers right here, right? This add to cart number, out of every 100 people that make it to a product page, how many add to cart? Reach checkout number, right? Out of people add to cart, how many are actually serious about making their way through? If you can't get people adding to cart, you're not going to get them to buy. And your product pages are the number one needle mover for that added to cart percentage. So if you're in your store analytics and you're looking at your added to cart percentage and it's low, chances are you're either A, sending too much traffic to your homepage and not enough to your actual product pages, or B, you have big breakdowns with your product pages like this brand right here. All right. So let's go ahead and get that cleaned up. Now, as far as some things that you can do offer-wise for the holidays, bundles make a huge difference during the holidays, especially because you want to get people spending more. You want them to spend as much as possible. When you're doing print on demand, creating custom bundles from the same supplier now, but you can do different t-shirt bundles. You can do t-shirt and accessory combinations. When you're doing print on demand, what you're really selling is designs. So you could do like yoga pants and t-shirt bundles, or you could do yoga pant 3 packs where we're just combining some of these things together to give people more opportunities. You want to start thinking in terms of what could be bundled together, right? What are the chances that I got the tribal yoga, ocean tribal, spiral tribal? What are the chances that the same person would want one, two, three, all three of these different designs? By combining them all, now I have an offer that is worth close to $100. And then if I package it together the right way, this 3 pack, I can give them a little bit of a discount on there, right? Normally it'd be 100 when you're actually closer to 120, but you can get all three for 99. That is an offer. That is an offer, right? And that will get them to spend a lot more than just $40 with you. You see how it works, right? Thinking in terms of bundles to get people to spend more, and it's easy to just do 3 packs or combine these type of offers together to get your average order value up, and that is going to make any advertising that you do much, much more profitable. Right? Much, much more profitable. And as far as ways to advertise stuff like that, we already have some lifestyle imagery, right? If you have any of these on hand, or if you've been able to order any of them, turning this type of thing into quick videos where you can show the model moving around in them. Heck, you can even use AI to show a model moving around in these type of leggings, help someone visualize. Now that's an ad creative that we can throw into like a Facebook or an Instagram, start attracting eyeballs of people that are interested in these type of yoga pants, show them a bundle offer, and now we're cooking with gas, right? That is definitely the way that I would approach this, right? So ton of potential here, but we are definitely leaving a lot of money and a lot of opportunity on the table, right? And messaging like this, show you are from the inside out, from spiritual symbolism to quotes and wisdom. This message right here, this concept of what makes you different is incredibly important. This needs to be up here. You need to be able to really communicate to someone what your brand brings to the table and why it is special. When you sell stuff like this, you don't sell apparel, you sell an identity. What is the identity of the person that would buy this type of thing? How will your designs and your merch make them feel when they wear it? Will they feel confident showing it to people? Will people ask them where they got it? That's what you want to really tap into with products like these to have them take off and do well, right? So ton of potential, but we definitely want to nip some of this stuff in the bud before we get to BFCM. Boom, boom. Now, before we move on, make sure that you like this stream, right? Again, it does help more people see it. Drop a fire emoji if you're taking value away from this. And again, if you missed the chance, type either irresistible or reviews in the chat so we can get you some of those resources to help you build up your social proof and beef up your product pages in time for the holidays. All right, want to make sure everybody is as ready as possible to cash in this holiday season. And let's go ahead and move on to our next store, which is also in the apparel niche, but it's a little bit of a twist with this one, right? A little bit of a twist with this one. Let's go ahead and dive in. So now here we are on alteredegoclothing.com, right? So, or .store. So again, we're in the apparel lane, but we have a little bit more character and we're leaning more into what we'll say maybe athleisure is the vibe that I get right away. So same feedback as with the last brand right away. If you're going to be making an offer, one, you always want to be capturing leads 100%. So that's smart. Good job. But you're going to want to make a stronger offer than a simple 10% off. Think about it, right? Let me know, you guys. When you put your email in one of these pop-ups, what do you think is going to happen to you? What do you think is going to happen once you put your email into a pop-up like this when you shop on a store? What do you think is going to happen? We all think that we're going to get spammed and blown up. We all believe that we're going to get a ton of different messages, right? So if the offer that you're making does not outweigh the risk of you blowing them up in their emails, they're going to pass, right? To get people to take you up on your offer must outweigh the risk, right? If your risk is here and your offer is down here, I'm not going to do it. If my offer is here, risk is down there, then I'm going to take advantage of it, right? So you want to make sure that we're making sexy enough offers to really get people across the finish line, right? Also, think about just how usable something like this is. It's small, it's white text on a black background, so it's hard to read. So I imagine if we look at the conversion rate for this pop-up, it's not very high, right? The offer is not strong, and it's not easy to read or see what I should do or why I should do it. And people don't really want to submit to anything. So it's good that we're doing it, but the execution needs to be a lot better if you're going to get leads onto your list. All right, boom. Now we're into our 5-second test. So what do we sell? Home, emergence, holiday apparel, men's apparel, women's apparel, accessories. Okay, that does tell me a little bit of something. Right. Imagery wise, I mean, I can see some products right away. So if I saw any of this before I got here, then I feel like I'm in the right place. But I don't have a clear what should I do next. So while I'm not completely failing the 5-second test, there's definitely room for improvement because you want to get people shopping, you want to get people rocking. Now, as far as things that we can do to improve this right away, one, I would still clean up my navigation. Blog, people read in an F formation. What does that mean? They read from upper left over to the right, and then down and over to the right, and then down and over to the right, and then down and over to the right. They read in an F formation. So the most important information on your store should be up in this left corner and then across the top. So logo can be over here. Clicking my logo does what? It takes me home, so I don't need a home button. Blog posts are probably the least important thing on here for a shopper. That can go on our footer. So then, boom, now I'm in emergence. Emergence doesn't tell me anything. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe that's the name of a collection, but that's not the first thing I would put because people don't know what that is. Holiday apparel, okay, that's more clear. Men's apparel, what type of men's apparel we got? T-shirts, outerwear, joggers, right? Sports bras. I would definitely make a mention of just athleisure. That's clearly what you sell. It's clearly what you're leaning into, but it's not clear up here. I would clean it up. But I would lead with like a best sellers if I'm you. So that way people can see right away, okay, what are my best selling products? And then, men's athleisure, women's athleisure, or, I can get into some of these actual products that we carry. And then that'll make it easier for people to access it. Try to minimize your use of like a drop down. Because it adds extra steps, right? To get to the finish line. Remember, we're looking at our conversion rate. We're trying to get people through these 4 steps as quickly as possible. So if I have to go through drop downs and try to figure things out, what does that do? That slows me down. And the more you slow me down, the more chance there is that my phone can ring or my kid can make some noise or life can get in the way. And now you just missed out on the opportunity. Does that make sense? So boom, best-selling apparel, worn by rebels, loved by all. That's kind of cool. Right? So I see we've got some soul, but the positioning is off. Right? How we're positioning is off, and we're not really driving action right away. So we're definitely missing out on some opportunity here. So if I'm you, I would definitely, instead of just diving right into products, we need like a nice, unique selling proposition style banner that clearly articulates what you sell, who it's for. So we have worn by rebels, loved by all. Okay, what should I do next? Shop athleisure, shop our best sellers, right? Give me a nice big button, a nice big message, and send me where I need to go. So that way I can get to shopping that much faster. Let me see. Boom, boom. Now, one thing that's hurting your user experience score is this gray background. Again, it goes back to the book analogy. Why are the majority of books written white background, black text? because that's the easiest to read. That's what the human eye is trained to see. So once you start to get away from that, you hurt your user experience, hurts your ad cost, hurts your reach, hurts your SEO, hurts in pretty much every way imaginable. So you want to minimize that, right? Go with a white background, black text, and then let your images pierce most of the time. Let your banners pop out against the white, and you'll find that it'll make your store look much, much, much more vibrant, easier to scan, easier to read, easier to process visually. You can see white text, black white background, black text. Now it allows my imagery to pop against it. Allows my imagery to pop against it. Does that make sense? Right? It pops more. Let's have a look, see at these women's joggers. So this says women's joggers. I see a cool lady with a nice six pack, but what are the actual joggers? So I saw one of your posts, I think, in my feed, right? And you've got some cool video, you've got some cool concepts, but that's not the things that you're doing on social media aren't translating to your store. They're not translating to your store, and that is costing you money because people buy a lot of stuff like this. They're very brand loyal. My wife has so many leggings, you know, and I get a lot of athleisure because I work out a lot. We need to be able to translate the things that we do on social media and bring that over to our store to help really put your brand in the best light and help you have a higher chance of converting, again, these clicks into customers. Right? Converting our clicks over into customers is definitely a huge thing. Now, product wise, again, this color scheme is killing us. So the lack of images on our product page, killing us, killing us, killing us. Black background, white text, hard to read, also hurting us. The fact that we're not really addressing objections, we're not talking about shipping, we're not talking about the return policy. So that means we're not addressing the two biggest risks that any online shopper faces. That's hurting us. Our call to action button is, think again, remember what did I say at the very beginning, right? 80% of people don't scroll down to make, so let's say I did want to buy the joggers of this nice six pack lady here, right? She-Hulk. I'm scrolling. What if I want to add to cart? The only button I see is this one popping out to leave a review, but I don't have it yet. So why would I leave a review? Got to go through kind of this big clump of text here. This is what it looks like on mobile. Probably not going to read that right. You're going to scan maybe because of how there's so much text here. And here's my add to cart button all the way down here. So here's a quick note on just add to cart buttons, you guys. There's a reason that the biggest brands that know what they're doing have really standout call to action buttons. Think about Amazon and those orange buttons. Why? Because it pierces, it captures your eye. So here's an example. Look at the Shopify button. You see how it stands out from the background, how it's clear, it's piercing, it's like gaudy, it screams click me, or it screams I stand out. That's how you want your add to cart button to be, right? Because what does Shopify tell you? The first thing that needs to happen to get someone to buy is what? They got to add to cart, right? They got to add it to cart if they're going to buy. So if I'm over here and I have an invisible add to cart button, what are the likelihood that people are going to click that? It's not as high, is it? Versus that's a lot higher. What if this was that color? You see how it creates a visual cue? Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do next. You got to treat people like little kids and escort them. Escort them. Now, again, definitely opportunity, especially as we get into the holiday season. But we definitely got some things that we're going to want to do here. One, product pages definitely got to get cleaned up, right? Grab that irresistible product pages cheat sheet. Let's address some of these different issues. Messaging wise, I'd like to get some type of an angle, right? What is our angle here? What separates our apparel? Is it designs that makes it rebel friendly? Is it the type of materials that we use? Can't read that. Right? Is it the type of materials that we use that make our brand different, right? We want to really lean into like things that make our brand stand out, especially as we get to holiday season. People are picking and choosing who they're going to shop with. If there's anything that makes our apparel different, that's something that you want to highlight as well. Now, as I mentioned with our last brand that we looked at, creating bundles is important. So if you can combine accessories and leggings, right? Apparel and accessories, creating some of these different bundles, that is going to help, again, get your average order value up. Right? Get your average order value up. That's this number right here. Right? Get your average order value up. So when a customer buys, they're worth more to you. This is good because if you're running ads and you're paying for customers, the more valuable a customer is to you, the more money you're going to make from that customer. And that's how you can increase your return on ad spend without spending an extra dime on ads. You make more money without spending any more time on ads or any more money on ads, any more time on social media, just by increasing your average order value. So use bundles whenever you can during the holidays because it's harder to get in contact with people. Ads are more expensive. Everything costs more. So make it worth your while with some different bundles, combining some things here. And those same type of videos that I've seen in your social, those can work really well as ads if your store is ready for it. But just those same sort of just product and use, lifestyle, living the lifestyle, okay? If we're talking about alter ego, showcasing people that like have a little bit of an edge to them. Maybe they're tatted up. Maybe they carry themselves a certain type of way. Living life. Think about like the brand Grunt Style, if you're familiar with that, right? It's like a vibe. Like you can tell who it's for, right? That is the type of thing that you can put in your imagery, in your videos, and that is going to give you some nice, compelling ad creative that you can use. So that way you can really pop out in the feed and you can drive action, right? We can drive action and get people moving forward. That is going to be one of the biggest keys, right? Is just, again, adding a little bit of heart, soul, some character, right? Take a look at Grunt Style. Look how they've got their banners, right? Nice clear call to action button here. But it's just like you can see who it's for, the way they carry themselves, right? The way they carry themselves. Character is big. Direction is big. Patriotic t-shirt and apparel brand. Bring patriotic apparel to every home in America, right? Character. Add that to your brand, and that'll make it pop even more. Did that make sense, you guys? Right, can you see how adding more character and dialing in your product pages, dialing in your offers is going to help you convert more clicks into customers? Creating bundles to get people to spend more with you will make these people more valuable. So even if it costs more to run ads, you're going to get more from it. Can you see how that will benefit your brand this holiday season? Let me know in chat if you're taking value from this, right? Make sure you like the stream, drop a fire emoji. Tell me what you've picked up so far, right? Let me know in the comments. And let's move on to our next brand. Speaking of Grunt Style, next brand we're looking at is also in the apparel lane, but this one is called Nah Brother. Okay, brother. Let's see what we got going on over here. So, do I like that we have an offer? Yes. 15% off is better than 10% off. Okay, we're doing a little bit better. Just remember, when you're making offers, the more you ask for, the better your offer has to be, because people just, they're more hesitant. So you need my first name and my last name and my email address. Why do you need my first and my last name? You're not going to steal my identity, are you? Not going to try to like hustle me like one of those Nigerian scammers, are you? No. Only ask for what you need. You'd rather get their phone number than their last name. You don't need their last name for anything. The more you ask for, the more you make someone's risk meter go up. Make sense? Minimize that. Don't ask for things that you don't need. And remember, people don't want to submit to anything. If anything's that get my 15% off, get this offer, get access, claim now, that sort of a thing. What do we sell? 5-second test. Apparel, accessories. Okay. Got some drop downs here. So I would have apparel, and then I would break some of these different accessories out so we could see them clearly. I would avoid putting like names of collections in our navigation, because that doesn't have meaning to someone yet, right? They don't appreciate what that actually is. They need a visual, they need some messaging to explain that. So I would give that its own dedicated banner, and that'll be more effective. Pull that to your footer, and that'll clean this up. You don't need a home button, because clicking your logo will take you home, and that will help clean this navigation up. You're not alone, brother. Am I in the right place? Finally, to break this on on men's mental health. Every shirt is a hand-printed message with Hey, listen, brothers need that, right? Especially in today's day and age, mental health is a thing, no? Right? How many folks do you know that might be going through it a little bit these days? So timely, yes, but I could scroll right past this button. This is what I'm supposed to do next. I could scroll right past that. Make sure we have buttons that are screaming, click me, and called out and breaking out the noise. Right? Imagery wise, got some decent lifestyle imagery. Looks like we're doing pre-on-demand. Also, social proof is a thing. I do like some of these designs. Actually. Right? Especially if we are really focusing on veterans. Like if you're really making a point to go and talk to veterans or first responders or people who have been through some shit, you have clarity in your avatar. And if your avatar can see themselves in products like these, you can get them to buy. Whenever you do print on demand, whenever you sell merch or apparel, remember you sell identity. You do not sell t-shirts. You do not sell whatever. You sell identity. All right. So definitely want to add some social proof. Product pages, better than some of the other ones that we've looked at, but still need definitely some room for improvement here. Again, we're not really addressing objections. We're not selling the dream as well as we could. Definitely some room to improve our product pages as well. Now, one thing that we could definitely improve here is what you're selling. If you're doing print on demand, right? If you're doing print on demand, your price points worry me a bit. We have a lot of really cheap items on here, right? Cheap items, and then the items that are worth a little bit more. Again, when you have like a bunch of t-shirts or whatnot, these are high competition items that you can't sell for as much, and you don't have as much margin on. Right. So whenever you're doing print on demand, I always caution folks about going straight to t-shirts. Yes, you can have them, but it's a tougher sell. You don't have as much room, and what you'll have to sell a t-shirt for, when you subtract your ad cost from that, it's going to make it a lot harder to scale versus if you're moving something like, say, a blanket, a Letterman jacket, a hoodie, right? Things that give you more room to charge more. And you can put a lot of these same designs on those. But it gives you more room, right? Shoes, backpacks, duffel bags. There's all sorts of things that you can do print on demand on that are less competitive than t-shirts. We can take a lot of the same design concepts, but you slap those on those items, and now they're worth more, less competition, and easier return on ad spend for you, more money in your pocket. So be very, very careful just leaning into t-shirts, right? That limits your profit, and increases the amount of competition that you're going to be running into. So what I would do, again, you have some designs here that are solid. I would definitely look at moving these into some different product types than just t-shirts to increase our average order value and hit some of these folks with products you can make a little bit more from. That's definitely something that I would do right away, in addition to some of the other changes that I've talked about here. Right? Advertising wise, lifestyle imagery is definitely going to be the play. You have some of these images here, but we want images, but we also want some video. And messaging wise, for your ads, because of the nature of what you're selling here, I would take, instead of just like a hey, here it is, tug the heartstring, right? Be playing to the heartstring, and really, these are the type of products where you could have like a long ad copy, right? Where ads are, you've got a good amount of text in them because they're telling a story, or they're talking about, every year how many veterans commit suicide. Oh my God, right? How many people are struggling with mental health and you don't know it yet? Again, I really lean into like the veterans lane just because there's a lot of folks that have seen some things, but veterans or first responder, people that have just been through it, your designs will already appeal to them. And again, in our ads, we tug the heartstrings, we talk about what they're going through and how they're kind of going through it. And then you connect the dots between that and, designs like something like this to help uplift them. So you talk about the pain, and then you talk about how something like this can uplift them and bring them out of the pain. And now we have something that can be more compelling. Mental health stuff, you really have to tug the heartstring. It's not enough to just throw the design up there and say, hey, get it for 20% off. You really want to make people feel some type of way. And what that's going to do is that's going to help Facebook target your people. Because with the new Andromeda update, your creators are everything. And the type of images and videos that you put out there online will help it send you the right people, whether it's with ads and with your social reach, right? It's looking at the post content. It has AI looking at your content now and deciding where it wants to send it to. So if you want to get in front of the right people and you want to make the right people feel the right type of way, your messaging is going to help you do that. So really, more so even with other brands, lean into the messaging of your ads and make people feel some type of way. And you get one thing, please believe they'll buy more than that. They're not going to just stop there. Nah, brother. They're going to keep going. All right. Now, let's move on to our next brand. So again, if you have not yet liked or hearted this stream, make sure you do that, right? I drop videos like this, value bombs like this for you guys to help you be able to scale your brands and take your stuff to the next level. There are folks making money hand over fist in e-commerce. There's an e-commerce revolution going on right now. And now more than in the time that I can remember, there's way more people now looking to start their own business, looking to take control of their own freedom, take control of their own destiny, uh, and create some stability in their own lives, or at least get some extra income coming in to supplement their day jobs or lack of jobs, and give themselves some control and confidence moving forward, right? E-commerce is not affiliate marketing. It's not influencing. It's buying low and selling high. It's the same thing that people have been doing for thousands of years across the world, you guys. Learning how to sell your products online is the most valuable skill you can have right now, because AI is not going to take that away from you. AI is going to help you do it. You don't have to worry about someone firing you. This is your shit. Sell it. I want you to do that. Take full advantage, baby. Let's dive into our next brand. And now we are moving away from apparel, and we are moving over into some consumables. Well, part of it at least. Pop up could be better. Coffee and gear crafted for your daily ritual. From fresh brews to everyday essentials, we bring you quality that fuels your lifestyle. So you have coffee and gear. It's an interesting combination. I'd love to see where we go with that. Now, one thing that is definitely hurting us a ton right now, and everyone, you can see my screen. We're really struggling with our 5-second test, and we are probably struggling with a high bounce rate, which is, again, people coming and leaving right away. So while I like the imagery and obviously we have high quality, our image sizing is way off. Look at how much I have to scroll down just to see messaging and just to see a button. Right? Look at what we have going on here. Right? Our product, our image sizes are way off. So one thing that you need to absolutely make sure is that your images look good, not just on mobile, but on desktop. Vertical is for mobile, square and landscape is for desktop and other devices. All right, so we need to make sure that we are optimizing for both mobile as well as desktop. You guys got to forgive me. You might hear little dogs losing their minds in the background, right? Wife and kids got home a little bit early today. Bang, bang. So clean that up. That's going to move this stuff up. Most people don't scroll down, and you're making people scroll down right now, which is definitely not something that you want to do. Now, that being said, catalog, let's get more products up here in our catalog so we can clearly see what we sell. Condense this down. You've got some messaging that can work. We have call to actions that can pop out. All of these are good. But again, because of the structure of our page, people aren't able to consume it. All right. We are definitely designing mobile first, but we're not thinking about desktop where the majority of purchases are actually made. Right? People will find you on mobile, buy on desktop. So you got to optimize for both. Boom, boom. More than just coffee. Okay, so we're selling coffee and apparel. So we're probably doing like some type of print-on-demand combo, bucket hat. Now, here's the thing when it comes to just designs. Whenever you're selling merch or designs, it's very important that you remember why people buy designs. Right? Why do people buy designs? Why do people wear designs on their body? Right? Daily Brew Club. Who is this speaking to? How is it making them feel? Right? We have it on a ton of apparel, but is this a design that is getting someone excited, making someone feel some type of a way? That is very important when you sell merch. If you can't make someone feel something, you can't make them buy. So our merch, I see a lot of this kind of Daily Brew Club design on it. But we definitely need to diversify our designs, and we need to spend some time actually studying what winning designs look like. So head over to Etsy, head over to some of these other places where you see a high volume of merch being sold, and look at the designs that people are actually spending money on. Right? It's not necessarily like logos. That doesn't make people feel some type of way. It's messaging that speaks to how they identify with themselves. And look, there are definitely coffee lovers, but Daily Brew Club, is that exciting a coffee lover? Is that making a coffee lover like, hey, that's me? Or, haha, I get that. I feel that way. Is it making them feel like they want to show it off? If not, then that's not something that's going to sell well. And as far as the actual coffee itself, you got to sell it to me, buddy. Right? You got to sell it to me. So here you have some more messaging as we scroll down, which is good. But we need to be able to get more selling information up here. We need to be able to address risk, objections, right? Definitely grab that product page cheat sheet and avoid at all costs doing what you just did there, which is you get me to a sales page. You're trying to get me to purchase. This is what Shopify wants you to do, right? They just want you to add the cart. You don't see anywhere in your analytics credit for sending someone to Facebook. What if you paid to send me here? And then I click that and now I'm here. And then they're like, oh, hey, there's a message there. Oh, I got some notifications over here. We're talking about there. Oh, this person's reacting to my live video. Really? What y'all talking? What are we saying over here? Oh, people asked to join me. You see, I just completely kiboshed my shopping experience. I'm going. That's why I never link to social media. Right? Never take someone that's actively shopping and walk them out the door. All right. And one thing you're definitely going to want to do. Okay, so we have some different size options. That's good, but you need to set it so that way as they click different options, they can see the visuals change. Our imagery needs some more work, right? We definitely need some more lifestyle imagery. And as they get different bags, right? 5, 12, 1 pound, 2 pounds. How many cups is this giving someone? How many, things of coffee are they going to get out of it? That will help them justify getting 2 pounds of coffee if they know how many servings they'll get out of that. But if they don't know how many servings they'll get, like I drink coffee, but I don't know how much coffee I'm going to get for 2 pounds or 5 pounds. How many cups of coffee is that getting me? How many pots of coffee is that getting me? Does that make sense? If someone's not clear on that, then the chances of them spending $75 on coffee, sight unseen, low chance of that. Low chance of that. Right. So again, huge opportunity, especially because you can get people to come back and buy time and time again. But it's really important that we're able to dial in on some of the things that we talked about today, so we can increase the amount of people buying your stuff and increase the amount of people wearing your stuff. You need to make them feel some type of way. And if you're going to sell them coffee, you know, they're buying coffee from someplace else right now, a lot of other places right now. Why should they buy your coffee? What is it that is special about your coffee besides the label? If we can't answer that question, you're going to have a hard time selling it. So we need a sexy answer to that question. Make sense? All right. And for our final store, we're going to take a look at Lap of Luxury Scrubs. Let's dive right on in. Bang. Okay. I like the spin to win. I like that we're getting email and phone number, right? This is a smart play. Phone number is one of the most engaged platforms. You can make money. You get 100 phone numbers, you're going to make some money. 100 emails, you might make some money. Phone numbers are maybe one of the most powerful assets you can capture from your leads right now. But let me know in the chat, you guys. What do you think is going to happen if you put your phone number into this pop-up? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know. The time is now. Spin to win. Is there anything in this pop-up that is worth it to you to let this brand text and email you however many times they're going to text and email you? Right? Which is higher? Is the value higher or is the risk higher based on what you see in this pop-up here? Probably going to say the risk, right? That's going to make a pop-up like this less effective. What are they going to get? What can they win? Tell me what I can win. What's the best? 25% off. Went up 25% off. Can I get something free? Tell me if I can get something free. Right? Articulate what is in it for someone if you're going to ask them for something. Right? It's got to be an exchange. Yeah. Healing Hands Corporate Label, nurse owned and operated. Okay, we're speaking to an identity. Now, 5-second rule wise, I like what we're doing with the banners. Like, you have some good elements here, right? You have some good elements here. We have a customer avatar. We have some clarity, and we have products that people are definitely buying. But how we're communicating it definitely needs some work. One, let's clean our navigation up. Home collections, products. Tell me, okay, I got scrubs. What else do you have? What type of scrubs? Scrub tops, scrub bottoms, accessories. Like, tell people what else that you carry. Instead of doing this kind of scrolling feed here where someone can't really digest what your message is, and then finally by the time they can, bring their mouse around to your button, it's going to change into something else, which lowers the effectiveness of your banners. So instead of having a bunch of different banners and they swiping through, have one banner up here, send them to your best sellers, and take these other banners and just stack them up and down your page. And that will get people into your collections at a higher rate. Get 20% off your first order. That's what needs to be the pop-up. Don't just tell me this, right? Give me something to do. Right? How we're putting these things together is going to impact our overall success, right? Instead of half selling from our homepage, use the homepage to drive them to a product page. So here we're half selling because it doesn't have all the sales page information. It doesn't have everything on it. You're giving someone the ability to make a decision, yay or nay, without you really getting a chance to sell it to them, right? You can't do that. That's why, places, they won't sell you something unless you talk to the sales guy. Right? You got to get the pitch. Otherwise, it's not worth it. So make sure that your sales guys, your product pages, are getting a chance to pitch. So get them excited about what the zip jacket is, maybe a banner and some benefits of it, and then get them to the product page so you can really lay it on them and sell to them and remove risk and objections. Right? Never have sell. And boy, what am I supposed to do next? Add to cart. How many of you could see that? What is the likelihood of clicking that if you can't even see it? Can you see how something like that would potentially lower my added to cart rate here? And if that number is lower, then my complete checkout and buy number is lower as well. That makes sense. Little things like that. Ecom is a game of percentages, y'all. It's a game of percentages. And any opportunity that you have to increase your percentages of anything in the right direction is going to make you more money because it's retail. That's why I love it. I would definitely put together some special bundle options. We need to adjust the overall sizing of our banners. Like, you have some good elements here, but again, how you have, like, it's like you're making a recipe and you have good ingredients all over the place, but how we're putting these ingredients together is not coming together the way that you'd like. So that way someone feels like they had a quality meal. So it's definitely something that we're going to want to dial in. Definitely want to get some more social proof on the store. Product pages need work. That product page cheat sheet can help. You know, people buy stuff like this, but you really got to present it the right way. And you can have, you know, this type of, you can have your customer base be very, very loyal to you. There are a ton of things that you can do here that to get people really excited. And, you know, stuff like this could make good gifts as well for, you know, the nurse in your life, the CMA in your life, the CNA in your life, you know, the PTA in your life, right? All these folks that wear scrubs would rock stuff like this. So you want to get it out in front of them, right? So bundles, making some sexier offers and taking some of these images, using them for ads, turning some of these into videos, using that for ads. These are things that are going to do well for you. Right? Definitely a ton of potential with your brand. So hopefully you guys are able to take away a lot from this, right? It's designed to help. If you're looking at your store right now and you're saying, man, I'm making a ton of these mistakes. Man, I don't feel like I'm really ready for the holiday season. Man, I'm really worried about, you know, what I could be missing out on potentially. I can help, right? Type strategy in the chat and we'll let you apply for a one-on-one strategy session with my team, right? Take 15 minutes, break down your store, find conversion killing mistakes like some of the ones that we found today, and some profit boosting opportunities free of charge, but you do have to apply. So type strategy in the chat and we'll reach out to you to talk to you about how you can apply for a session like that. All right. And if you are just getting started or you're looking to really launch your brand and be able to take full advantage of this holiday season, I've got a special offer for you. I want you to stay tuned because tomorrow we're going to be rolling it back out. I'm going to be reopening my 0 to 5K blueprint. So we're going to have some more details for you that you'll be able to see in it tomorrow. And we also have the Holiday Marketing Playbook 2025 that is about to drop. And that is going to show you how to really unlock everything the holiday season. Done for you templates, resources, packaged together to help you really make this your best Q4 ever. So stay tuned. We're going to be dropping the details for that very, very soon to help you rock out this Christmas. Right? So thank you for watching. And let's take full advantage of this opportunity. See you in the group, y'all. Y'all have a great day.